Welcome back to another episode of The Dairy Aisle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As always, it's your host, Eli, with me for the final episode of the year. My main man, my brother, James Mazareto, everybody.
How you doing? How you been?
Tired, but still getting through the holidays.
Hey, it's a merry episode.
It is.
It's a merry episode.
Insert
today.
Jingle bells here.
Oh my God.
Ching, 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 ching.
Guys, it's Christmas time.
Christmas time.
Snow's falling.
Somewhere.
Lights are up.
Lights are definitely up everywhere. Snow may or may not be falling.
The elves are out.
The elves are out?
Yeah.
Oh,
Heart disease at an all-time high.
I was going to say it was time to go get my rifle. We're going to go elf.
Oh God. Do you know how much money they'll give me for one of these?
Get off my land. Damn elves are back.
Area 51 my ass. I got some elves here. They're little and got pointy ears.
Might as well be some damn aliens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Bet they taste good too.
It is our delicious Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm.
I said delicious because you said elves taste good. And I
They
word
probably
associate.
do.
I word associated. They probably taste like little pigs. What was that?
I think the fridge might be haunted.
Oh God! Oh, we got a mini fridge.
We did. We have a studio mini fridge now.
Yeah, we're doing well.
Yeah, we are.
We're
We're
doing
all right.
pretty well. We
That's
got
how
a
you
mini
know
fridge.
we hit the big time now.
Yeah, we got mini fridges. I'm drinking LaCroix from it.
Uh-huh.
It's
only stocked with LaCroix and ginger ale because that's all I drink.
chilled.
It is. It's chilled.
Successfully
It's not
chilled.
freezing cold. I actually have the
Perfect.
I have the little thermostat in the back set to half.
Smart. When you set it to whole, it just freezes fucking everything.
Everything. I don't
Yeah.
need that. Like I just want stuff cold.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need to hurt my teeth.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, have you ever put your fridge been too cold, and like you have eggs at the back of the fridge or some shit,
And they're
you
just
go
now-
grab and they're fucking
They're just ice
egg
cubes
rocks.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the best.
Use them to kill people.
Throw at people you don't like or want to maim.
There you go.
Use them to cool your beverages in the summer.
Oh my god.
Just an egg.
Can you imagine the
Like
summer?
in your lemonade. Like, here
Just
you go.
glunk. Just serve it to people. They'll be like, "What did you just give me?" They're like, "What did you like to know? You better drink it up fast."
Why do our ice cubes look like eggs?
Look like. Funny you should ask.
Oh, honey.
I'm glad that you do.
Oh, you stupid bitch.
You do the rich white man laugh.
Yeah, that's the laugh that, like, when you know something that everyone else doesn't, that you're like, So yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
I
Merry Festivus.
don't know about you. I love Christmas with all of my heart.
I'm trying to get back into the love. There was a
Love
period of time where I began to hate Christmas, like just the general holidays,
so
like
dark.
like from Thanksgiving onward. I was like,
Mhm.
can we just skip all of November and December and just appear in January?
Oh no, it's
like-
my favorite time.
Yeah, like I wanted to like basically hibernate from like November 1st to
Mhm.
January 5th, and then just emerge and go, okay, look, now I gotta put up with all that shit.
Oh man, what?
I think also as you when you're a kid, you like it more for the most part because there's then the anticipation of a lot of things: spending time with your cousins or your siblings and your
Mhm.
friends, having time off from school, time off from your normal responsibilities, gifts, good food,
for sure.
getting to go out, like basically breaking up the routine, right?
That's why I love it.
Right.
It's
And
totally different. It's a break in the routine. It's an excuse to
also
get
your
together
house
with
looks
family,
different.
friends, and stuff. You get to decorate your house.
Right.
You just get to be.
You get in the mood.
You get to be extra.
Exactly.
You get to go from a fucking 6 to
To a 10.
to a 10.
And then as I got older, which I think happens to a lot of people, especially during my teenage years, I just didn't give a shit. Like I was just going through the motions. Like,
Oh no, I love that.
and then when I got into my like early 20s, I kind of found like, okay, I like the holidays again. I had
Mhm.
an apartment with Mills, our first apartment, and we would decorate the shit out of it for Christmas. It was super cozy.
Even now, your house is very decorated for Christmas. It's
and
very
this
nice.
is like tame.
Yeah, it's like mild.
Like I'm sure in the next year or two, we'll probably kind of understand, because we're still getting used to the space in terms of like how do we decorate for the
Mhm.
holidays. Like this is now the second place that we've put the tree, and I kind of like it where it is now more than where we had it last year.
I like your
'Cause,
spot.
I mean, it's nice now because it's out of the way. Last year was blocking the sliding glass door, but also my backyard was a fucking war zone.
You didn't use it. Yeah, exactly. You're using it now.
Yeah.
So it's way better.
But also just generally, like, you know, what do we hang anything, you know,
Feels.
from the what's it called, like above the door frame or anything like that? Like, do we wrap the what's it called,
The banister.
the banister in garland or
Of
anything
course.
like that?
Of course you do. What kind of question is that?
Well, like I wanted to do pre-lit garland because I think it looks nice.
Yeah,
but
it
we
looks
don't
great.
have any. We don't have any.
Why don't you
what's it
just
called?
make your own pre-lit
Outlets.
garland?
We don't have any outlets anywhere in the staircase, so we'd have to find one that has like a little
That's
battery
tough.
powered like LED
Yeah.
thing, which we could do. You could make your own pre-lit one, which is like you said, you could buy the strand of the little battery powered LEDs
And then you just,
and we just wrap it. But it's a lot of effort, and
Our house is like Christmas exploded.
that's what I saw in the videos.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it. Every time I walk into my living room, I'm like, oh.
you also have a literal fuck ton of space to work with, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And since you have
We have Christmas hippos.
also, you arguably have the tallest vaulted ceilings I've ever seen. That's not in a holy, area.
Yeah, like a church.
So I mean that helps. You could put a 9.5 or a 10-foot Christmas tree in there and be like, it looks so small and dainty.
I haven't. No, we wanted it.
Also, fucking
We
traders
wanted-
going to the other Home Depot. How dare you?
First of all, the one on Bird
is garbage.
is the worst Home Depot on the planet.
I'd argue East Hialeah is probably worse, but yeah, Bird is a close second in terms of
Bird is
absolute
dude.
bullshit.
The tree buying okay, really quick. I'm gonna take you to my tree buying experience really quick.
Go ahead. Hit me.
So we woke up on Friday and we're like, we're gonna go get a tree. I'm like, okay, cool, this is great. We go to the first place, which is the church on Bird and like 107th,
Mm-hmm.
where they always are selling fireworks or trees. They're always selling some shit. There's always something
Right.
inside the church. So we're like, hey, they're probably gonna have the biggest trees that we're gonna find, and we wanted like a 14-foot tree.
And you wanted a natural tree, obviously.
Yeah, because I don't. If it's gonna be a tree that big, and it's the first tree in the house. Like I want a natural tree.
Our
So
first tree here was a natural tree.
oh,
No,
is it?
I lie. Me and Millie's first Christmas tree in the apartment was a natural.
Was a
Christmas
natural tree. Everything else is
which I let her have because she had never had a like a natural
Uh-huh.
Christmas tree. But I had been through that nightmare multiple times.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad when you get it, but in a just a 2-person household, unlike the fucking summer of love that you have going on in your house,
We do got a lot.
who has to take out that tree when it's dead? This fucking guy.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but remember, Millie's lazy. She treats pumpkin trees. She treats pumpkin trees. She treats Christmas trees like a divorced stepdad treats a pumpkin during Halloween. Just let it sit there and
Just
rot
let it die.
until November. And
Well,
then
I like natural trees too because it also gives you firewood for like
does.
bonfires and stuff like that.
yeah.
But so we go to this
Continue.
place
Mhm.
and we want like a 14-foot tree if we can get it, and we know it's gonna be pricey. It's okay. It's gonna be a little pricey because a big tree, but not crazy, right? So we go and we're like, okay, well, we were like, oh, we've been looking for something for between like 10 and 14 or whatever. So, oh, he's like, the 10-foot trees are over here. He's like, oh, the 10-foot trees are like $230. And I'm like, immediately, I'm like, oh, that's way too expensive. Oh, I have no idea what.
Yeah, because our artificial trees that are 9.5 feet in the store,
Mm-hmm.
and these are pre-lit artificial trees that look really nice, are like $260, almost $300.
And that's going to last you for
For-
20 years.
yeah.
So, which is why
Also pre-lit, like just
Yeah.
literally snap it together and plug it in.
and
go.
you're done. Which is the only, if you get a fake tree that's not pre-lit, what the fuck are you doing? Because that's one of the reasons to have a fake tree is that you don't have to put the lights on, and the lights are annoying. And it's perfectly spaced because the worst is when you put lights on and they're not evenly spaced, and then you got to
Looks
re-roll.
like crap.
It's horrible.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
So we're like, so I'm like, no. And then Christy immediately, I guess she didn't hear him or she was just like, let's just see what the fuck he says. She's like, we're actually looking for something bigger. What do you have? So he walks us over to the 14-foot trees. And this motherfucker tells me that a 14-foot tree is $480 and that a 16-foot tree is $900.
No.
And I was like, how in the actual fuck do you think you're going to sell any of those? And I'm sure they will, because they're going to sell it to people that live in the McMansions in fucking horse country and shit like that can afford a $900 fucking tree. But it's like,
I'm just impressed by the vehicle that they would use to transport that.
bro, $900 fucking dollars for a tree.
For something that's going to die in like a month?
Yeah, I can't replant that tree.
No.
It's dunzos. It's dead.
It's not a succulent. It didn't propagate. I can't just put it in dirt and be like, I'll get another one.
Yeah, it'll grow. It'll root, right? I was like, oh, absolutely not. So we left there, and they looked kind of offended by it, but I was like, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, dude.
So we hop in the car, and we go to the Home Depot on Bird, thinking, okay, we'll just check Home Depot. Let's see how it goes. So we go to that Home Depot, and it's the worst fucking experience I've ever had buying a tree ever. And we didn't end up buying it from there, but they basically have a tent set up with all the trees in it, but they have everyone who wants to look at a tree lined up in the sun, and they're only allowing one group or person in at a time to look at the trees and then buy in this tent.
And the tent was where? Like in the very front of the store?
Yeah. Like so when you're driving up to the Home Depot,
Mm.
you see the entrance and exit or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
It's closer to the contractor's entrance. Like so
Okay,
it's
yeah.
closer to the wood at that Home Depot.
Got it.
But we're like, dude, and we're waiting for a while because like people are taking their time and they're looking for trees and they want to check it out. And in Home Depot, you can open up the netting for you so you can see what it looks like a little open.
Right.
So so people, dude, like Christy and Vinny have enough time to go get breakfast, come back, pour coffee. We finish eating and we're still in the same spot because this family's taking a while. But like you're only allowed one person at a time, and then you have old ladies trying to skip us and all this bullshit. It was just horrible. We're like, this is garbage. So we decide to leave, and we're like, okay, well let's go to Big Lots, and we buy all the Christmas decor. So it's Black Friday. We buy all the Christmas decor at Big Lots. That was great.
As one does.
We loved it. And we end up going to the Home Depot on Kendall and 127th.
Nobody in that house had to work on Black Friday, I take it.
No.
Lucky bastard.
So that was the best Christmas shopping experience I've ever fucking had.
At
The Kendall and 127th fucking Home Depot.
Yeah,
Bro.
They did it big. I like that little thing that they did with the little wood
cuttings?
cutouts.
No,
That was
but
cool.
no, dude, the manager came out and was like, hey, who wants water as we were waiting in line? Like, but
Also,
like.
the barking that you're hearing right now,
Oh, yeah.
I think Millie just got home.
That's all the pups with the mills.
Yeah, they're, oh my God, she's here.
10-10 she walks in here.
She probably will.
10-10's gonna walk in here.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I won't counter bet you because I know she will.
That was like the best experience. Like, dude, everyone there was super friendly, much bigger tent. You're allowed to walk in and like actually look for shit. Everyone was super helpful. Like, it was just a totally different feel.
I think it's because it's Kendall and like normal fucking people live there.
Because
at my store, it's the complete opposite. Thankfully, we're blessed. At least my store is blessed with the fact that we have that entire parking lot. One half is ours. The other half belongs to Costco, and the other part belongs to Mall of the Americas, like general mall parking. Right? We have an entire section of the parking lot that we just close off, and that's the tree tent.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
But here's the problem: you can park and just calmly walk into the tent.
Mm-hmm.
You pick your tree. We will cut the tree for you. We'll even trim it if you need the sides trimmed
Wrap
and
it up.
everything. We'll wrap it in the fucking net, and then
Tie
we'll
it
be
to your
like,
car.
we put a little piece of paper with your name on it. I'm like, okay, do me a favor, right over there on the side of the net of the gate. Go ahead and bring your car up, and two of our lot associates will go, and they'll put the tree either in the car or on the car. We have plenty of twine. We have little plastic sheets that we put over your roof so it doesn't scratch your car. So we have a lot of people coming there to pick up their tree in really nice cars, like brand new BMW SUVs, Mercedes SUVs, all that shit. This is the problem with Flagler, is that the people that live in that area are fucking idiots. And they see one dummy who decided to fucking pull up to this bitch like it's a McDonald's. Like, they just pull their car up to the entrance, and they're like, yo, bring me like a 6.5 foot tree, quick. Throw shit on the roof. Here you go. And they just like throw money out the window, basically. And it's like, no, you fucking inbred. Park your car. Go pick the size tree that you need, and then you pay for it at the register that we have out there, and we will go and put it on your car for you. What the fuck? This shit at McDonald's? You retard, like.
Oye, consorte, dame un árbol como 7 pies. Rapidito.
Dale, que no tengo todo el día.
Oye, yo tengo que cagar, vamos.
Vamos, que hay tráfico. And it's like,
fucking A.
and like, bro, it got to the point where like we had to start going out there and just being like, yo, what are you guys doing in line? And they're like, oh, we're waiting for a tree. And you just like, you couldn't stop.
Yeah,
there was no time to be nice to people. We just have to be like, no. At no point did anybody tell you to park here. Go to that empty parking space 4 feet away from your car, get out of the car, and go pick your tree. When your tree is done, we will ask you to bring your car up here, and we will gladly put it on the car for you. And they're like, oh, but nobody told us anything. I'm like,
when have you ever been able to drive up and get a tree?
Also, this is not your first Christmas. You didn't just get here from Cuba and also get a brand new 2020 fucking Mercedes SUV or a BMW SUV. Like, you didn't borrow it from a family member. Like, none of that shit. Because that means that they lent you their purse, their phone, their wallet, their keys. Like, no, come on, dog. This isn't The Sims. Nobody decked you out like that right before you left.
Feel you.
So that became a problem. And then what was worse was the people inside who were buying artificial trees. Is 9.5 feet the biggest tree you have? Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, 9.5 is the largest plastic pre-lit tree that we have. She's like, why is it so expensive? I'm like, I don't know, ma'am. If I got to make those decisions for prices, I certainly wouldn't be working here.
Because you got a tree forever, basically.
Yeah. Like, what do you want? And mind you, like, the most expensive pre-lit tree we have that I remember seeing was I think like $340 or $330 something dollars,
which is
there.
pricey for a size.
It is a
that size tree.
9.5 foot aspen fir that is pre-lit, covered in snow and pine cones and the little red berries,
Yeah.
and comes with color changing LEDs that also flash to the sound of music.
Yeah.
That's
a deluxe
reasonable
package.
for $300 something.
Well, you also have to take. It's like, lady, go outside, go look. 9.5 foot trees are $89.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now calculate how many times you're gonna buy that every year. You're gonna buy it once a year, right? So that's $90 every year.
Plus
Account for
gas.
inflation if you want.
Yeah.
Plus the gas to go get it or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, how many years is it gonna take for that tree to get paid off?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take like 3.
Yeah.
And you're done.
And also no mess, no cleanup. Like,
yeah, I don't mind that. Everyone always like cites that as like a complaint for Christmas tree. Don't mind it.
I think it
like,
also
I can sweep up needles
it
once a
depends
day.
on two things. Number one, are you really lazy? Like, do you leave the tree up until like January 11th or some shit like that? And now it's like super duper dead, right? To the point where like if you turn on the AC, needles just start falling all over the floor.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And did you take care of it while you had it? Because if you just keep it watered, maybe crush up a little aspirin or something in the water,
It helps.
it'll last you. It'll look nice and it'll smell good, right? But like,
Yeah, if you just put it in the stand, no water.
Yeah, that's it.
Dry
Just
as
like,
fuck, just
I'm going to
like,
put sand
okay.
instead.
Like, all right, great.
Arsenic. This is going to be great.
Are you supposed to salt the root
That's
of the
what
tree?
I thought.
think you
was
salt it,
told.
right?
Oh,
You're
it's
salting?
supposed to be snow. My bad.
Oh.
Yeah. But also, yeah, a lot of people just end up thinking like, no, I don't want to sweep. I don't
funny.
want to clean up. And that's how I feel because it wasn't the same. Like, I had a live Christmas tree in a third story fucking apartment.
Yeah.
I had nowhere to burn it. I had to haul that fucker downstairs, leaving what looked to be a Grinch-like trail of fucking pine needles all over the fucking house, and then drag it downstairs while getting stabbed multiple times by these stupid branches, and then throw it into the dumpster. Literally 15 minutes after I threw it in the dumpster, I'm upstairs sweeping, and when I look out to my balcony, some dudes pick up in a fucking pickup, pull it right out of the dumpster. I'm like, I could have charged them for that. I'm like, you guys, $25, take this bitch.
They would have been like, no.
No,
But we'll wait till you throw it out.
exactly.
We'll wait till you can't take it
At that point, I
anymore.
would just set it on fire in front of them. I'd just pull out a lighter. We're like, oh.
They immediately pull out like s'mores product. They're like,
well,
well,
I guess it's an
we're
event now.
here then.
Uh-huh. But like super upset about it. No one's having a good time.
Yeah,
They're
you're
just mean mugging.
Scowling.
Fucking love s'mores, you piece of shit.
I hate you, but I love these.
It's amazing. So, but yeah, that was.
But my Christmas shopping experience turned out extraordinarily
looked-
great.
it looked very merry.
Oh, and they also had a setup to take photos. They had like a little photo setup. I'm
I'll
like,
give
you're
this.
doing it right, dude.
Shout out to the store manager at the Kendall and 127 Home
We
Depot.
wrote-
I've met her.
Everyone wrote them reviews.
She's a sweetheart.
Bro, she's so nice.
If Millie could get a job in Kendall, I would instantly ask for a transfer to that store without missing a beat.
Oh, bro, she's so sweet.
I remember we showed up like a couple weeks ago to get
Mhm.
some stuff for the backyard to get like the paving stones, and when I go to where the garden entrance is,
Mhm.
she's out there, I guess, directing like foot traffic and stuff because they were getting ready for the tree tent, and a bunch of the flat carts had been stacked one on top of another, and I go to grab one and I see there's another one on top of it, and just like it came out of me, I was like, oh look, they're mating. And she starts laughing, and I turn around, and she's like, I guess it's that time of the season. And starts laughing. I was like, lady, you're dope.
You're
Like,
good.
Yeah, because if that had been my manager that
Yeah.
had heard that, she would have just given me that like super like,
Like,
that's inappropriate.
I'm like,
Don't just can you shop somewhere else like at Lowe's? Like just don't.
Oh god, is that an insult? Can you shop at Lowe's?
Yeah, just,
You're
we
a
don't-
Lowe's person.
We don't want your element here.
Are you in a wife beater in chanclas? Could you go to Lowe's, please? Yeah, no, she like
Yeah.
I remember we gave her like we were telling her like how good like some of the employees in the tent were. Like they were so fucking helpful and like so outgoing.
And let me tell you, that says a lot because the tree tent is rough work.
And no, and
It's
they were getting tips.
And a lot of
They
them
were
are
getting
a lot of them are part timers.
Yeah, oh for sure. And they were getting tips.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Bro, the guy in there, I know the guy in there probably made $100 that day extra for
Also,
sure.
consequently, one of our workers almost lost his fingers in a chainsaw accident 3
jeez.
days ago. Yeah.
But when we told this manager, I don't know her name, but when we told her about, like, when we complimented her employees, like, she reacted as if we were complimenting her. Like, that's how she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. That's great. He's awesome. You know, he really tried. Like, but like, she gave a fuck.
Right.
She cared.
Yeah.
Right. And she wanted to do well. And she was glad that they were doing well and they were being appreciated.
Oh my God, I
like,
wish. If,
it was really, really
when
great.
people
It
compliment,
was really great.
when people compliment employees at our store, our managers are almost like, where are the cameras? Where's
Are you
Ashton?
sure?
Am I being punked?
Who was it?
Who?
No.
There's no one here by that name.
No.
Well, they'll just be like, oh, that's great to hear. Make sure you put it on the what's
on
it
the
called?
survey.
On the survey.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, it's great. I'm gonna put it on the survey, but I'm trying to tell you because you're the manager.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like, hey, so you can go fucking tell this person great job.
Right.
You're killing
and,
it.
Help them out with something. Maybe, I don't know, give them send them home early. Be like, hey, good job. You get the day off. Go. Or some cool shit like that.
To be honest, just acknowledgement sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
fucking worth it. Like, oh, you can see I'm doing a good job? Great.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm on the right track in your eyes, so now I'm not freaking out
also,
about your
that's why
expectation.
at work I give people the craziest customer service experience that I can come up with sometimes, because the fact that I do
you
it
get
so
like a
often.
blowjob in the bathroom or something like that?
No, relax.
But like,
I'm
I'm going to
get
make your
paid
shopping
that
experience extra.
No, I mean crazy, and like people are used to going to Home Depot and being like, oh, there's no one here. What a surprise. Or there are people, but nobody knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they meet me, and I mean, I make it my business to know conceivably everything in the known universe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, holy shit, somebody who actually knows something. And I'm like, yeah, some of us try to. And I'll like be their like personal shopper while they're there. I'm like, oh, what else do you have on your list? And we'll walk through the whole thing. And especially now during the holidays, be like, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, yada, yada, yada. And bro, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, can I talk to your manager? And I'm like, is everything okay? Like, is there anything I can? No, everything's fine. I want to tell them like, yo, thank you for hiring somebody who like actually gives a shit.
Yeah.
And most of my managers don't react. They'll be like, oh, okay, thanks. We'd like to hear that. Just make sure you put it on the survey. And then they'll tell me later on like, hey, good job. And I'm like, okay, thanks. But what I've learned is that those compliments are fucking currency. Because I'm sure that I do shit in that store that would not fly with other people, and I get away with it.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I'm not tempting fate, but little things.
But
like, nobody really tells me anything when I come in late. And nobody tells me anything if I'm on lunch for an extra 5 or 10 minutes. Or, oh, he went to the bathroom for 15 or 20 minutes. Like, nobody tells me shit. If I leave my department to go help somebody out with something, I don't have people chasing me down like in garden. Be like, yo, you're supposed to be in plumbing. Be like, motherfucker, I know where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be providing customer service. What are you doing? And like, that's why I'm like, you know what? Okay, I don't mind going the extra mile because it's currency. I can quantify helping people out, not because it makes me feel good, but because I can use it. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's what makes you run, then by all means.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I've learned that every Home Depot is like a fucking biosphere. They're all different.
Any kind of retail environment that large is like a biosphere.
Yeah, each store is its
like,
own environment.
I'm sure working at Walmart feels the same way. I'm sure like Dick. Well, no one actually works at Dick's Sporting Goods, but
yeah, I've never actually seen
I've never actually seen an employee.
I feel like they're camouflage. Like they shouldn't let them wear like athletic wear.
I feel like they're doing like an experiment to see how little people they can actually have on staff to run a full store before it falls under.
Yeah,
I can't. I hate. Hey, if anyone here is a part of Dick's Sporting Goods organization, maybe works for them, or just really enjoys their store and their products, I want you to know that you're horrible, and the thing that you love is evil and should die.
And wrong, yeah,
100%. And Sports Authority was a better store.
I've never met a single Dick's employee. You know,
bro?
No, at the register. That's it. I feel like they only have registers.
And if you find someone they don't know the fuck talking about, ever, dude, ever. It's turning about a retail rant, but
we gotta stop.
Fuck Dick's Sporting Goods. But yeah, so Christmas has been fun so far.
Merry Festivus, everyone.
Merry Festivus.
An airing of grievances.
But Christmas has been fun so far. It's been really enjoyable. We've finally have the tree up. We're doing all the things. Also, Home Depot way more reasonably priced. It was $89 for the tree.
How much?
$89.
$89
for a fucking 10-foot tree.
Finally? For a 10-foot tree?
10-foot tree.
Nice.
They want to charge me $230 for the same fucking tree. I'm like, no. Because I get it. Trees are expensive, especially the bigger you get. But I'm like, I know how much a tree costs, and I know how much you're upcharging me. I'm like, you're charging me more than 100% more than what it would fucking be. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, but I love Christmas, and it's been good so far.
We're gonna come back to the Christmassy theme that we have going on here tonight. We made a promise to our listeners. Also,
well, this is still Christmassy theme. We're giving.
It is, but
we're giving answers.
Let's for a second. Let's tell everybody who's listening, because if we're honest, we're a little late with this one. I think we've missed at least 1 or 2 episodes now.
Of what?
Of the Dairy Aisle.
No. But telling them what.
Like why?
Why?
Why were we late? We've missed like 2 episodes.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. The last episode we did was in like October.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean we missed 2 though?
I think we've missed like 1 or 2 episodes.
2 though?
Yeah.
Have we even missed 1?
We're recording late.
Have we?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yes,
No, I don't think so.
100%.
No.
I will show you the schedule.
Life is perspective.
Time is irrelevant.
The Earth is spherical.
The Earth is spherical.
Don't listen to Shaq. The Earth is a sphere.
Shazam! Or Kazam!
Is it Kazam?
It is
It's
Kazam.
Kazam.
You're right. Anyways.
Oh, so yeah.
So you had, what was it, bronchitis?
Yeah, we probably should have mentioned this at the head of the show.
Yeah, well, whatever.
But
here
yeah,
now.
I had so I was sick for about 2 weeks.
Yep.
I had bronchitis.
Bronchitis.
Yeah, which is after the first, I think, stage is not contagious anymore, but it's just like one of the most disgusting kind of respiratory,
It was pretty terrible.
common illnesses.
Yeah.
Just because your lungs fill with mucus and then you basically have to expel it once your bronchioles
Rectally. Can you
rectally.
imagine?
Oh, just pooping loogies. Oh, even that statement.
Ugh.
But basically your bronchioles are inflamed, which are holding the mucus. So once they relax and kind of get back down to a normal size, all that mucus starts to move around and come up. Yeah. So it was just a very gross illness to have. So I just rested and got through that and did all that. I feel better now. So good.
Yeah.
And you were also sick?
I came down with a cold as well, which is terrible.
Delicious.
We also had a lot of stuff going on here at the house with the project for the backyard and all this shit. So
it's also the holidays. It's just the end of the holidays are nuts, dude.
they are.
They're fucking
ridiculous.
nuts.
Especially in a big city. Like, I mean, fucking traffic gets stupid. You like the rule at this point is like if you don't have to go out after work, don't.
Yeah.
Just fucking don't, because the amount of traffic and just the people you're gonna run into is
every store is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Even though I will say online shopping has alleviated a lot of that.
A ton.
Like,
I think what was it the national
even Black Friday doesn't feel that bad anymore.
What was it like the National Federation of Retailers said that this year
it sounds evil. It sounds like an evil
it is an evil empire. I mean, they are retailers, but they said that something like $3 billion or something was going to be spent this year alone on online retail.
Oh, for sure.
Like 30% of Black Friday shopping was going to be done online.
And that number is only going to grow. It's only going to grow.
No, absolutely.
Because why the fuck would you leave your house if you're not?
But yeah, you were sick. I was sick.
Yeah.
Projects, holidays. That's why we're late.
Yeah,
we're
just
very sorry. But this is going to be the last episode of the year, as we mentioned at the top of the show. It is not the end of the dairy aisle or anything like that.
Jesus Christ, no. Why would you say that?
No, because maybe some people
it's the end of season 1.
Yeah, basically.
Year 1.
So year 1 has been a ride.
Year 1 has been a ride, man.
And we're going to actually we're going to talk about that more in depth in January when we come back.
Because obviously the best thing to do when you get to a new chapter is to look back at the old chapter.
Right, which we're going to do like a little,
you know what I mean?
We're going to do probably like a little montage, which is going to be available, I would hope, to everyone. We'll probably have some cool
No, just
stuff.
the ladies.
Only the ladies.
Only the ladies.
We'll figure out some
one.
technology that only allows ladies to listen to that portion of the episode.
Well, their eyes are different.
Their eyes?
Yeah.
Wouldn't their ears have to be
different? Their eyes are different.
All right. If you say
we're doing a montage of sound?
Well, like an audio montage. We could probably do some video stuff too. I don't think we have enough recordings of
like
us visually, like
an Audiocopia.
An audio. I like that word.
An Audiocopia.
That's gonna have to go up there on the board with
Also, what the fuck is the point of a cornucopia? What's the point of that fucking structure?
I think it was just a horn that you stuffed with all the things that you wanted to eat, and that was like the centerpiece of your table.
Okay, but was that the point of it? Is that where it comes from?
Okay. I don't even know what actually is the cornucopia. Like, is it made of wicker? Is it made of corn?
It's wicker.
Human hair?
It's
Who knows?
Corn? You make it out of corn?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, then nobody knows.
We're not an expert.
Who knows really?
Okay, it's confirmed.
Science has even figured it out.
Confirmed on this episode of the Dairy Aisle, we are not cornucopia experts.
We're not at all. It could be a silly hat, though.
Could be a silly hat.
It is.
Could be a silly shoe.
Oh shit! You're right.
Maybe that's the first croc.
It was a Croc-Ucopia.
Croc-Ucopia.
I'm gonna have to fucking get somebody to draw me a cornucopia in the shape
If
of
Croc-Ucopia is not the name of this fucking episode,
it is now.
I'm gonna lose
Merry
it.
Croc-Ucopia.
Merry Croc-Ucopia.
So, yeah, next year we're gonna try to come back. My goal is for us to come back in the middle of January. That gives us time to go through the holidays, go through the new year, get settled in, do some changes that we're looking to do for the podcast. And then we'll talk more about that next year, because it's going to be next year. We've got some cool shit planned
for sure. And we have, and we want to do it. Next year's first episode is going to be recap, and it's going to be a look back and a look forward.
Right.
Which I think is going to be really, really
cool. It should be fun. I like it. I think we're going to have a better season next year.
There's a lot to recap.
There is.
Yeah.
So going into that, we had requested from everybody online
yes.
to send us questions that they wanted answered on the next episode. All right. These questions are going to be the ones that were commented on Instagram. So I'm going to read some of these questions. We'll kind of go through them, not necessarily lightning round, but we'll give them a quick discussion.
Yeah, I want to talk about it. Yeah,
all right. Because I also wanted to do some more Christmassy stuff towards the end of the episode.
For sure.
It's gonna be great.
For
all
sure.
right,
For sure.
so,
but I like this audience engagement.
It is. This is
it's fun.
This is what I want more of next year.
Yeah.
And in general. All right. So we're gonna start at the top of the list.
Who is it? Their handle. Give their handle.
Their handle. Yeah. User. I believe it's Ash Kale. I think I'm pronouncing that.
Spell it.
There's 2 L's at the end of it. So.
Spell it.
ASHCAYLL.
Ashkai.
Yeah, or it could be Ash K the second. Who knows?
It could be Ash K the second. Okay.
All right. So this person asked, "What is the strangest dream you've ever had?" Oh man, mine is fucking woo.
What is the strangest dream I've ever had?
Yeah.
I need time to think about mine. Give me yours.
So while you're thinking of yours, I'm going to give you mine because mine is.
God, what's the strangest one?
My dream was, I don't even know when. I think this is before I was dating Millie, I think. I must have been probably 15 or 16 when I had this dream. I still remember it to this day. It was fucking, she was like a movie. So I was part of what I believe must have been some sort of like a crew of like, I guess like either post-apocalyptic bounty hunters here on Earth or like space bounty hunters, but not like Boba Fett. Think more like Aliens. Like the movie Aliens.
Okay, like a space marine.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Where like each of us had our specialties, yada yada. We rolled in like this crazy big fucking tank and everything like that. So we show up somewhere in a desert. I don't know if it's an Earth desert or somewhere else. It sort of reminded me of like the Australian outback deserts where everything is very flat and there's a lot of like bush everywhere. So we're in this fucking tank and there's like 6 or 7 of us and we roll up on this like one structure in the middle of the desert and it looks like a concrete octagon that is only like maybe 7 feet off the ground. It's very short, right? And
it's like a platform.
Yeah, it's like completely flat on the top with like little things sticking out of it, which I'm guessing were like vents of some kind. There's no windows, there's no slots, there's one door, and there's like sand dunes like building up around the edges of it. So you can tell that it's been opened fairly recently, I guess. I don't know why we're there. I presume to pick up a bounty. We're not delivering anybody because we didn't bring anybody with us. But we roll out of that fucking thing armed to the teeth. There's no aliens. Like everybody looks human. So I can tell. No cyborgs, no robots. We don't have Terminators with us or anything.
So it's not sci-fi just yet.
Not yet. But it doesn't feel post-apocalyptic because none of us have like, oh, that guy's shirt is made out of recycled tires. Like it's not like that. Everyone wears leather. We don't know why. So we go up to the door and I put my hand on a little square. I guess some sort of like a biometric handprint reader or whatever.
That you just know is there.
And like I guess I've been here before. Okay. And like a little slot opens and I take like a USB stick thing off of my necklace. I put it in and the door opens. And it does the traditional sci-fi.
Yes.
We walk inside. There's like a lobby. In the center of the lobby, there's clearly like a gigantic elevator, like platform. Everybody gets on. Everybody starts checking their weapons, checking their knives or whatever. And we go down. And I'd say down like it felt like we went like maybe 20 or 30 stories down into the desert. We get down there and we're in like what I guess must have been like a prison of some kind, I guess.
Oh, okay, like a supermax in the middle of the desert.
Like some crazy supermax prison. We get down there to, I guess, like the reception area, and there's a bunch of security guards, and there's the nurse. There's like a nurse there, but it's weird because the nurses look like ye olde, like 1960s, 1950s nurses, but not with the skirts, but they still have this little white
but the hat,
and stuff like that. And this is not like a cute nurse or anything like that. This is like an old, like grizzled nurse.
Yeah, like I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Like I've pulled a spleen out of an asshole before.
Right. With my bare hands.
With my bare hands. Not my human hands, my bare hands.
And I grew actual grizzly hands and pulled it out. So we go to talk to them or whatever. I don't remember what the conversation was, but they go, okay, listen, here's the deal. The asset that you came to pick up, he's on the bottom floor of the prison. However, the elevator doesn't work, so we're going to have to take the stairs. However, we have to go through like 4 different levels to get down there. Each level is like an eighth of a mile long in either direction. So we're
Jesus,
gonna walk
okay.
like an eighth mile one way, go downstairs, walk eighth of a mile another way, downstairs, and so forth and so on. It was just like 4 times. And I was like, oh my god, all right, well. Fine.
And what are you doing there? You're looking for.
I guess we're picking up a bounty or something. She calls it. I remember this distinctly. She called it the asset. So we're picking up somebody called the asset.
Cool.
So we go down, and the first level is just cells, like cell blocks, right? And they look old school, like they've got bars and stuff, and there's just regular looking dudes in there, nobody weird looking or anything. We go down, we're making chit chat, we're talking. We finally go down 2 levels. We've gone down 2 levels. So the first level, then the second one. We are now getting to the end of the second one, going into the third level. The third level is clearly the hospital wing. Holy fuck. We get down there, and it is clear to me, at least at 15 or 16 years old, they're experimenting on people down here.
You're just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're all being used for experiments.
There was one guy, the first person on the team that we lose is some like blonde guy that was with us that looked like an older, like just sort of like very, like kind of like a loner. Like he didn't really talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some guy on a cart, like on a gurney, and they had him strapped down. And he was just screaming his head off like a crazy person. But when you got near him, his skin would turn like whatever part of him you were near, his skin there would turn black completely and spikes would grow out of it.
Oh, it's horrible.
Like literally spikes. Like it looked like a porcupine. Almost.
Yeah, like it was like a defense mechanism.
Right.
Like his skin would immediately react to like the presence of a person.
But it gets better. This blonde guy was like, what the fuck? And he goes and he touches the fucking spikes. I don't know why.
Dream idiocy.
Apparently the spikes come out of the guy's skin, and it's the most painful thing that you've ever heard, because the guy who releases the spike starts screaming even louder in agony, and our team member who touches them, his hand literally just starts to dissolve. Yeah. So we're like, that guy's made of dissolving poison spikes. Got it. Yeah, I was obviously having a fucking acid trip in my dream. And it's not just his hand, his whole body. He just disintegrates into a pool of just gurgling, screaming bullshit. And we were like, okay, well.
I don't know why that's funny to me.
Yeah, well, the lady on our team just walks up to the dude with the spikes and just puts a round through his head. And that was it. And the nurse like, what the fuck? And we're like, yeah, I mean, dog, an eye for an eye. What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
And she's like, don't shoot any of the other patients. And we're like, as long as the other patients
promises,
don't disintegrate us, sure. We finally make it down to the last.
Well, I mean, don't touch their spikes.
Yeah. We make it down to the last level finally without incident. The person or thing that we were there to pick up was at the very end of the room, like at the end of the hallway. It looked like they had just decided to encase his room in concrete one day. They were like, just build a wall, fuck it, with a little slot.
Okay.
So people look through. Apparently this door opens, like this wall opens. It doesn't look like a door. They open it, and out steps what I can only presume is like a 14-year-old girl. And she's just in shackles. Completely.
Unassuming. Nice, I like it.
But she's completely shackled. Like to the point where like her wrists are bound together with metal shackles that cover her hands. They look like boxing gloves almost. Her feet are shackled together. Her arms are shackled to her waist. And then on top of that, she's got what looks like these like glowing ropes wrapped around her whole body.
Weird.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what does she do?
Yeah, like there's like a lasso of truth wrapped around her or some shit.
Yeah, but it glowed blue.
Nice.
And I immediately asked the nurse, I'm like, what the fuck is she?
Yeah.
And she's like, don't ask questions. Okay. For your safety, we're going to cover her eyes and her mouth. You're going to take her back to your vehicle, and you're going to get her the fuck out of here. And I'm like, okay. But so we don't all die because she ends up being fucking, I don't know, like Magneto's niece or something. What do I need to know about her? And she goes, I can't tell you because I don't know. Nobody does. She was left here with a fucking booklet of instructions, and we have followed them to the letter, and so far nobody has died because of her. But okay. And I was like, oh fucking K. As we bring her up through the levels, anytime she gets near a cell, people start freaking out. Like they lose their fucking minds.
Just start like going nuts.
They just start grabbing the fucking bars and just like swinging back and forth on the bars, screaming inaudibly, just screaming.
Yeah.
We get upstairs. The guards take like one look down the hallway, and they all just start putting on headphones and like sunglasses. And we were like, but I'm cool. All right, whatever. We're not walking like, we're like, we had formed kind of like a diamond around her. and me and the other guy, we had like this like big like black dude with us, and him and I both had one hand on each of her shoulders, and we walk her out. We finally get outside, and our car is gone. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But as soon as we walk out to where the car was, remember how I told you there was like brush everywhere, like growing up through the sand? Anywhere she walked, anything around her started like to die. Like you literally would see her walk and plants would
And
just
just
start withering.
wither.
Like a scorpion came up near her and the scorpion just flipped over on its back and just curled up and died. And we were like, the fuck? Why are we still alive? And the nurse who was with us was like, again, I cannot tell you because I don't know.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay.
These were the instructions given to us
Right.
when she got here.
The wind starts picking up, and we were like, all right, well, we got to get her ass back inside because for whatever reason, the wind here means death. So let's get her back inside, and let's see about contacting somebody to bring us another vehicle. We get back inside. All the guards are dead. The nurse is dead. And we're like, how did that happen? She's still with us. How did they all die? It's not so much that they died, so much as their bodies exploded inside outwards. So now the room is very sticky and a different color. And then I woke up.
You woke up there?
Yep. And I didn't know what to do with myself for
Oh,
about a
what
good
a
hour.
tease.
Yeah.
I would have tried to go back to sleep. Like, fucking
Are
let me
you kidding
finish.
me? I tried to incept myself back in. I was like, we're going back in. Yeah.
I need to know.
I never figured it out.
That's fucking awesome.
Although, and this might explain quite a few things, this was a period in my life where the Sci-Fi Channel used to play like amazing sci-fi movies at night, like late at night, and I would always fall asleep with the TV on.
But
It's very possible that I left that on, and my brain was like, got it, we're going to pull elements
Yeah,
from
for
that
sure,
movie,
probably.
and this movie, and we're going to
Probably.
make some shit up.
also, based on that dream, you might like the game Control. It's very good.
Is it really like that? Is it like that?
It's like about oddities and like weird psychic assets and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very, very cool. But it's based off of like objects and it's very, very good. I love that game so much. It's very good.
I'm gonna have to get
For anyone who hasn't played it, it's good. Control's good. But it sounds a lot like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that was an adequate answer for the dream thing. I don't think I have to I don't think I have to input. I don't remember many dreams. None of them were substantial enough to warrant like a story though. They're all like my weird dreams are like
Also, occasionally I see my
Weird.
grandfather in my dreams.
I don't remember my dreams mostly. So
But it's weird because every time I see him, his hair is long. And he never had long hair.
maybe he's
no
letting
idea
it
why.
grow out in the afterlife. Maybe he's like, yeah,
No, this is going to look good.
check it out. What'd you think?
Look what I got.
So what's the next one?
All right, so next question. Oh, my phone decided to turn on. Here it is. All right. This is from our super fan, Gabby.
Oh,
Gabs Galore. She asked, if you could have dinner with one person, alive or dead, who would it be? That's a hell of a question. I'll let you go first. First.
foist. If I could have dinner with one person, alive or dead,
At any point in history up to right now.
fuck, any point in history.
Yeah, you can't go forward in time, obviously. Like, I want to have dinner with Elon Musk's fourth child.
Jesus
Like, no.
Christ. That's so loaded. There's so many fucking eras I'd want it. Because there are obvious ones that I'd want to know, but there are ones that I'd want to know more.
Oh, listen, remember, we're
Okay.
we're chrono guides.
Okay.
We can go back in time and have dinner with anyone we
My
want.
first instinct,
It is?
Jesus Christ.
Damn, I was going to go with John Bon Jovi.
Oh, really? Wow.
Not for me, I thought you were going to
Oh,
go
no,
with
I
John
wasn't
Bon
going to
Jovi.
jump. No, Jesus Christ, for sure. I want to know what happened with the missing years, and I want to know, like, I'd want to be able to, like, question and ask and
Also,
see what kind of answers
listen,
I get.
If the superpowers are real, dinner is going to be on him.
No, Tinder's definitely on
I
him.
want nothing but bread, fish, and wine, baby. You're paying.
You know how expensive that is now, Jesus? That was food for the poor?
Have you been to
Him?
Brickell?
But, like, him, Julius Caesar is another person I'd love to speak to.
I mean, better than Caligula, because you'll just cut your...
Genghis Khan, I would love to speak to as well.
I mean, Genghis Khan
Who
is
conquered
probably
most of the
like-
known fucking world. Like Alexander the Great, I'd love to fucking speak to as
Why
well.
would Genghis Khan conquer? Have you seen Mongolia? There's so much space. There's literally
Bro,
nothing there.
do you know why there's so much space? Because
no
he
one
raped and pillaged everywhere else. He was like, what's that over there? That's mine. It doesn't
That's
matter.
fine, I don't
Vamos, Vamos, that's mine.
There's one person there. We're raping and pillaging that one
Yeah,
person.
we're getting it all. The guy who built the Coral Castle.
Oh, Ed Leeds Galden. Yeah.
How the fuck did you do it? I want to know.
That little black box that he had. That supposedly he knew the secrets of the Egyptians. Mm-hmm. Who else?
Who else? I would probably like to honestly speak to Ben Franklin.
I'm gonna change things up for you also. Language is not a barrier.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't.
Okay.
I figured it was because if it's anyone at any point,
it's anyone at any point.
even Old English is going to be like
doesn't matter.
the language barrier. But yeah, so Ben Franklin, for sure.
You want to find out the stories of the ultimate ladies' man.
For sure. Well, no, and just also like,
what
was it like during a revolution? Like, what the fuck was that like? What was it like being a key figure?
Being one of the founding fathers.
Yeah, like that's fucking nuts.
Well, because you get to go back in time and tell him like, hey, I come from 350 years in the future of your project.
Yeah. And by the way, going well.
Sort of, but yeah.
No.
We've had some ups and downs.
Go on.
We've had some ups and downs. We've had some major ups. World War II, man. We
down.
came out on top on that
We
one.
did, but it was a down
Hard.
for a while.
Well, the
also,
depression was
the
a little
10
worse
years
than
before that,
Woo!
real downer. Hey, guys, while you're writing the declaration, think about credit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Also,
we came up with a weird system where we can fuck ourselves later by giving us our
the stock market. If you guys could fix that just a little bit ahead of time, thanks.
Honestly, for me, it's a lot of like big key figures. Shakespeare's another one that I'd love to talk to.
Yes. What if he's not real? You've heard about that, right?
If Shakespeare's not real,
that William Shakespeare wasn't a real person.
That it's like a collection of artists.
Yeah, or it could just have been a pseudonym for somebody else.
That would be nuts.
Can you imagine if we found out that there was no William Shakespeare?
Also, William Shakespeare has a very similar missing history
to Jesus
epoch of his life. Yeah.
Maybe that's who he is. Maybe Shakespeare is Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my Shakespeare. Now we can't say "Oh my Lord" anymore.
But then there's like, because it's like one and I've given like a ton, right? Like I'm cheating on this because there's so many people.
You've got. Listen, you love history, and you're also a very curious and inquisitive person. You have been since we were in high school. I'm not at all surprised that this is an impossible question for you to give.
It's so impossible for me to answer.
Because it's the same for me.
Because like there's just so many people in history that I'd love to just.
Because as you're talking, my list is growing.
Yeah, right. Because then you're thinking, oh, I didn't even think about that era. What about? I mean, even from talking to like even the most like fucking mundane pharaoh, like you're gonna get so much knowledge out of them.
You think though?
Yeah. What's life like? Yeah.
Well, no.
How do you do the things you do?
But
when did agriculture actually? When irrigation's a lot older than what we think.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, are we talking about knowledge or insight? Because there's a difference.
For sure.
You know more today than the average pharaoh did in Egypt.
I don't know about that time.
Right, but that's the thing. They're not providing you knowledge. They're providing you insight. They're just being like, hey, I'm going to describe what it's like now to you. But you know more than they do. You know more about the stars and the planets.
No. But I don't want like functional knowledge from them.
Yeah,
I want answers to history. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. I want them to give me jigsaw puzzle pieces that are missing.
So your first, like right off the rip, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Bro, I mean, come on.
Because that conversation could go on.
That's the biggest historical figure known to man today.
Yeah. I'd say probably top 3.
Top 3 in the world.
Easy, yeah.
Like Jesus Christ is recognizable pretty much everywhere you go.
Yeah, he's the Coca-Cola of religious figures. Everyone's heard of him.
Yeah, and either you hate him or you love him.
Exactly. Is that what we're saying? That Muhammad is Pepsi and Jesus is Coke, or vice versa? I don't care which one either way because I don't want to offend anybody. But I mean,
Jesus is Coke. Come on.
Is he really though?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, the sweet taste of Coke, the sweet taste of Jesus. I say we just tell the Catholic Church to stop serving wine and start serving Coca-Cola at communion.
You'd bring in the whole family.
I mean, you would. And it's delicious.
It would stop being illegal every time you sneak it to a child.
This is true. You could also flavor it every year. Be like, the holidays are upon us. Vanilla Coke.
Yeah.
Vanilla Christ blood.
Ah, yes. It's March. Cherry Coke.
Cherry blood. Delicious.
Cherry blood today. Yeah, that's a really fucking hard question to ask. But yeah, there's a lot of people that I would like to go see. What about you?
What's
your list? What's your list?
Well, hold on. I'll ask you this just so we can round it out. Your top 3. JC.
Fuck, man. My top 3. Okay.
Yeah, JC. Number 1.
Okay. Hold on. JC number 1.
I love, by the way, that our number 1s are both religious figures.
Oh, is yours a religious figure too? JC's first. Alexander the Great's probably second.
Damn, that's a good one.
It's funny because I don't want any of the Greek philosophers. I don't want any of them. I don't give a fuck about them.
y'all guys wrote down everything we need to hear.
Yeah, like philosophy is just like, okay, wait, I don't need your.
That's not an answer.
I don't want insight. I don't want your, and I don't want your very skewed.
I've already read it. Like, what do you think I went to school for?
And I think Yeah, I think probably Ben Franklin's third.
Good choice.
Ben Franklin's third.
Good choices. I like that. So Jesus Christ,
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 Alexander the Great,
and Ben Franklin. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you went. That's a long period of time.
I was trying to like. Do you see what I was trying to do?
No, you did. You
Where
went.
I'm like, yeah, give me Jesus.
Then we're gonna go forward. You know,
Alexander.
to Alexander the Great, and we're gonna
And
come
then we're gonna go
forward
Benny.
into the
And then we're gonna go
modern era.
Benny.
Yeah. All right. I
Yeah.
like that list. That's a
Yeah.
good list. That's a
Thank
lot
you.
of insight.
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Whose conversation do you think would last the longest? JC?
No.
No.
Ben Franklin would last the longest.
Yeah, because you guys have the most in common in terms of
And he's
like,
also like he's known for that. He's known for being a talker,
right.
right? Like JC, I feel is like I'm gonna impart wisdom on you,
But that's
and
it.
then I'm gonna go now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
bye.
go do my thing.
Yeah, peace be upon you.
Yeah, and then Alexander the Great is either
He'd be a bro dude. He'd be a Chad. He would just sit. He's the jock of history. That guy would just sit there and be like, "Yeah, I fucking conquered India.
but like think of
I
some
had
of his,
war elephants.
think of some of his stories, like the Gorgon knot
Yeah,
or
can
the
you imagine?
the Gordian knot, where he walks up, no one's been able to fucking do this knot. Everyone's like, oh, test your merit against this knot. And he looks at it, and they're like, he's like, I can do whatever way I want. They're like, any way you want. He looks at it for a second, pulls his sword out, cuts it in half.
And
He's
they're
like, I untied it,
yeah, technically,
sheathed it, and they were just like, what?
no one's ever done that before. Like, yeah, what the fuck? I can do whatever I want. Yeah, exactly. The head bob.
And I'm gonna go kill the Hindus.
That bastard.
Those Hindu warriors.
Until the UFOs showed up and apparently everybody got scared and ran away.
For sure, that's exactly what happened.
Duh.
Yeah, and then he got the sacred lance of Calganon. What is your list looking like?
Number one is the original, the OC.
Oh shit!
Or the
God.
OG, I should say. God, the first
God,
one.
I want to talk.
No, the original Buddha, Siddhartha,
Oh shit!
the first one.
Oh, it's a good one.
The first one to reach enlightenment. Yeah.
Holy
I
shit!
want to talk to him for a long time. I have a lot of questions. I have so many questions.
For sure.
And not only just insight, but his point of view of things.
At the time too.
And just like I would tell him about my time now and be like, what do you think? Like how
You're fucked. You're all fucked.
well, like no, I'm just saying like how would you like I would love to hear like his view on someone who practiced Zen Buddhism in the way that like Alan Watts did, because Alan Watts is number 3 on my list.
Nice.
Even though he's dead, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's alive or dead.
It's I know, but still.
Number dose.
Number 2 is
Damn,
a toss
man.
up for me. It is between Carl Sagan, because he's the man.
It's pretty nuts. It's a pretty good one.
And I'm kind of at odds between whether I want to talk to George Washington, just to be like, you're the man, like this is your project, like you're project leader on this right now, and I've been in it, you know,
Yeah.
like this
Like,
is
hey,
your
what's
interview.
up?
Yeah, I got to tell you about a lot of things because there's a giant marble penis in your name.
First of all, smile.
Are they
No
wooden?
wood.
Look at that! Wow, they all lied to us.
They probably just let
Also,
him
how do you
rot.
feel about cherry trees? So it's between George Washington and the other person I was thinking of. Honestly, was also Jules Verne.
Ooh, Jules Verne's nice.
I'd like to
That's a good one.
I'd like to talk to Jules Verne about some stuff.
I was thinking Edgar Allan Poe or Voltaire. Voltaire.
Yeah. But yeah, really, if I had to hammer down, it would be the Buddha himself.
That was a fucking
either pre
really
or
good one.
post enlightenment. I don't care.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 3, 100% has to be Alan Watts. And then number 2, I'm okay with George Washington, but I feel like I want something older than that. But it would probably be because I do love my country and I love the story of America, like how it came to be.
Oh, me too.
You know,
I've always loved American history.
I don't think we have a better story than anybody else. I just think ours is
It's our story.
it's deeply unique to us and to our ethos as a people.
We're also one of the only sovereign nations that has had a success after a revolution.
Yeah,
I think because we had just had all the right. We weren't looking for a revolution. It
And
fell upon us.
on like a completely unrelated note to what we're talking about, you know, with these questions and stuff. But like, I forget if it was on a documentary or a show or something the other day, but that America is wonderfully unique in the sense that like, if you live in France, you're French, you know. If you live in Britain, you're from the UK and so forth and so on. But if you're in America, you're not French, you're not Spanish, you're just an American. That's it. Like, we are the definition of countrymen.
Yeah, we are all in some way. I mean, if you're born here, you're born here, right?
You're an American, period.
And honestly, I think the only thing that America's missing is like the homogeny of generations, of like generational breeding, where it's like you can relate, like Chinese people can relate to other people in China because they all come from the same place. They all have similar features. Like there's homogeny there, right?
Yeah.
I think here there's so much variety, and there's so much diversity that sometimes it's hard, because I think we're still evolving past like that brainstem kind of like thinking. Like it's hard to get past like visuals, right? Where it's like, but how are we the same if we're not the same?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
but you're an American.
But when you're an American, and that is like the purity of it. Like it's not necessarily about it's just you're an American. Like if you embody the values and morals of what we stand for.
And like I sometimes make fun of the American dream for it, because I think that it's like, sometimes I get cynical and I'm like, yeah, the American dream is stupid because you'd have to be asleep to believe it. That's why it's called the dream. But the reality is that the dream is just the pursuit of happiness. It's just like, it's life and liberty. I just want to live my life. I want to be peaceful. I want to be free. And I want to have the freedoms to pursue the things that make me happy. Yeah. And that could be anything from saying like, I just want an apartment and I just want to play video games and not bother anybody, to I want to make the attempt of becoming a billionaire or a millionaire, or I want to change the world. But you know what? I'm going to do it while being an American. Yeah. Like, okay.
And if you work hard enough at whatever it is.
Not to say that nowhere else gives you that opportunity. You could,
of course
you could live in the UK, France, anywhere in the European Union and do that. I mean, anywhere. But
we're still the only country that guarantees your freedom of speech, though.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, by the way.
Yeah, but yeah.
That's crazy to me, though.
What, that there's freedom of speech with like almost...
There's no other... I don't think there's any... None of the major superpowers have a specific freedom of speech clause.
Like an article, right.
Yeah, like we have it in our constitution. It's like...
First one.
You have the freedom to speak.
Yeah.
No, the UK does not have that. France does not have that. Italy, like none of the European nations, I don't think, have that. I mean, I might be totally fucking wrong, but I know that that's one of the craziest things. I think the UK doesn't have it, I think
we're probably the only one that has it as, like, that's the cornerstone. Like, this is how we build the rest of this, is the ability to speak your mind.
For sure.
Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, yeah, it would definitely be the Buddha, Carl Sagan.
I was also thinking Einstein might be another cool one.
I had always thought of Einstein, but I feel like that's a not a cop out, but I feel like a lot of people would say like, "Yo, talk to Einstein," and I'm like,
it also might be a very difficult conversation.
That's the thing. Like, do you have the natural intelligence to speak to Einstein and
exactly.
understand what he's saying? Because at some point he's just gonna get bored of dumbing things down for you, you know? Because I can sound smart, but I won't. I'm not as smart.
And also, like, what are you gonna talk? Like, you're gonna talk to him about.
I think if we go back a certain point, like to a certain time, it's more them having a conversation with us.
It's a lecture.
We tell them about, like, this is what the future is like.
Or you just go, what's that?
Yeah.
And then wait for them to fucking thoroughly explain.
If I'm talking Einstein, I would love to be able to tell him, like, hey, by the way, you know all those times that you thought that you were wrong? Nah,
so right.
Turns out you were actually right. You were righter than you thought you were, believe it or not.
You were so ahead of your time, it's
the
unbelievable.
The only thing that you said was wrong was thinking you were wrong.
Yep.
That's the problem.
All right, what's the next one?
All right,
got our top 3 down. Bam.
Yeah.
You wanted to know, we told you.
Exactly. That was a great question, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Gabby.
Awesome one.
Gabby always has good input.
Always great input. Love that girl. Shout out to Gabby. This is from a former coworker of mine. His name is Danny. He moved to North Carolina to have a better life. Shout out to Danny. I love you, buddy.
I didn't ask for his life story, but okay.
Well, fuck off. His name is the Bearded Climber on Instagram.
Nice. Is he a climber?
He does. He's rock climbing.
Okay, good.
Yeah. He asked, what do y'all think, y'all being us, obviously, about the Jeffrey Epstein situation?
Oh, I mean, come on.
He didn't kill himself.
Come on.
That guy was murdered.
Come on.
Nobody has ever been more murdered in their lives.
Let me put it this way. Come on. You know, like what?
The great philosopher once said, come on.
When the conspiracy is not believing in the conspiracy, like, how many more ABC fucking leaked things need to come out? How many more people need to have pictures with this guy? How many? I mean, come on. And look, I'm not saying the Clintons. I'm not saying the Clintons did it.
We could just have a seance, right? And just summon the spirit of Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey,
can we agree? Do the Clintons have bodies? Clintons have bodies, dude.
The
Clintons got bodies.
Hold on. I don't think Bill has bodies. I think Hillary's got bodies.
Bitch, you don't think Bill got bodies?
I think he asked Hillary to take care of his shit.
Fine, but he got bodies, though.
but not that's what I'm saying though. I
Bro,
don't think
neither of them actually want to go do anything.
No. I don't mean that they're assassins.
But
I
I
mean,
think-
like, listen, if somebody was gonna, can you imagine
I
Hillary's
did
an
not
assassin?
have sexual relations with that woman.
Thank you. I'm glad that we both silenced our pistols. By the way,
By the way, not what a silencer sounds like.
No, at
Silencer is
all.
very loud.
they're so loud and they blow back things at your face. It's
For
very
sure.
annoying. No, I'm saying like if someone in that marriage was the diabolical one that like just sends an email
Oh, it's Hillary.
or calls somebody,
Oh, it's
for sure.
Oh, it's Hillary.
It's that ice cold bitch.
I would even say that Bill's so dumb he doesn't realize what's happening with Epstein until it's too late, and
Yeah.
Hillary's the one that now needs
Cleans
to
up
fix
the mess.
it.
100%. But I don't think it was her.
But I think he traveled with him 26 times on that private jet to that fucking island.
Oh, he touched little kids.
Oh, for sure,
He
dude.
touched the shit out of little kids.
For sure. Here's the thing, though. Everything about the situation adds up. Like, the fact that people would want him dead. Like, yeah, if it's really powerful people, and he has probably one of the worst pieces of blackmail you can have on someone, which
They're
is
gonna kill him.
sex with underage girls. It'll destroy your life. Your life is done.
There's no recovering from that.
You're telling me you're not gonna fucking, you have billions of dollars, $1 million.
You're gonna pay off people. To
Who have you
fucking-
fucked over to get to where you are? Exactly. Like, you're not willing. Get out of here, dude.
Come on, dog.
Get out of here.
No, that guy got killed so fast.
Bro, that guy got murdered so hard.
That's why I said nobody has ever been murdered harder in their lives than Jeffrey Epstein.
And you know he's like, oh, fucking, let's see what happens now. Like, you know he knows it's coming. There's no way he doesn't know it's coming.
Yeah, no, he must have figured it out.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, his life was
But
blackmail.
that's the thing. Like, think about it. That guy would have had the plea deal of the century. You know what it is to go to closed chambers with a fucking federal judge and go, I'm sorry, what charges were you going to charge me with? And how much time was I getting? Got it. I have a book. The names in that book are going to literally change history.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not doing any time. Anytime.
You're putting me.
You're giving me
somewhere.
immunity. I'm changing my face and my name. You're never going to find me on this planet ever again. But I'm going to leave you with this book so long as I don't get charged with anything, fucker. And that's it. And I promise you a federal judge would have probably been like, I need to see the book first. And he would have shown him like a couple of the first pages. And that judge would have been like, okay, let's make it happen.
I mean,
Get me somebody at the Justice Department.
dude,
Cause
an ABC News reporter had the story.
Yep.
3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Had a girl that was in the fucking sex ring, had pictures of her with Clinton. Dude had everything.
Yeah, what more do you want?
And they scrapped it. They were like, who's Epstein? Who gives a fuck about Epstein? It's like, that's not even a good excuse. What do you mean Epstein? Okay, who gives a fuck about Epstein? What about Clinton involved with this guy? Then who's Epstein now? Why is Clinton with him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you automatically make a story. It's like, are you fucking... Anyone who believes that Epstein committed suicide is either willfully ignoring every piece of evidence.
Yeah, they're being an ostrich. They're just burying their head.
You're just burying your head, or you have something to gain by it.
Or
because
you think the
there's-
Earth is flat. I don't know.
Or you think the Earth is flat, or you don't know who Epstein is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take on it. I think we're in total agreement.
100%.
Epstein gets the 2019 award for getting murdered the hardest.
Next season at the end of 2020, we need to have an awards show.
Like, I'm down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award for most murdered.
Murdered hardest is
Jeffrey Epstein.
and it goes to. All right, go on.
All right, next up. So this is coming from a good friend of mine. His name is Lou. Lou actually started his own podcast.
Congratulations, Lou.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun with it.
That's good.
It's called the NPC Lounge. Go check it out.
Nice.
It's a very, very, very fun podcast to listen to if you're into video games and pop culture.
Dope. Great name.
So he asked, and this is a hard one. Would you rather fall from a 10-story building and get your eyelid caught on a loose nail? Ouch.
Oh my God.
Or
So hold on.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. Lou, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What do you sit around and think
Lou's got
about?
some demons.
He's just sipping on the coffee.
Hmm.
What if I fell from the top of this?
Very tall building.
Got a nail.
But there was
right
just
through,
a stray rusty nail just that
right through the
somebody
eyelid.
never folded down with their hammer and it just bing caught on my eyelid. Like, as
Fuck,
I'm coming
man.
down. Yep. Or would you rather get pushed down a slide of razor blades and land in a pool of rubbing alcohol?
Oh, come on, dude. The nail. Clearly the nail.
Yeah, because the nail's going to be so fast.
You're not. Yeah. By the time you're freaking out, you're falling from a 10-story building, which is pretty securely
I'm pretty
dead.
sure worst case scenario, let's say the nail catches my eyelid. It's not gonna. If it rips the eyelid with it, which I doubt, what'll probably happen is that it'll slice your eyelid.
It's gonna cut it. Yeah.
It's gonna cut it
It's
like
not
all
gonna,
the way up to your forehead. Listen, worst case scenario, you lose the eye. Best case scenario, you lose the eye, gnarly scar. You're now a fucking anime character.
You're dying at the end of this trip.
It's a 10-story building. You might live. People have fallen out of airplanes and
going
lived.
head.
No.
If you think,
James, people have fallen out of airplanes and lived. You know this, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So
those
why-
people haven't fallen directly on their fucking head.
How do you know what part of their body they fell on?
You're telling me.
What
you
if they
fall,
fell-
because those people are like, they broke every bone in their fucking body. Their femurs in their chest.
But they lived.
But they lived. But if you fall, I don't care who the fuck you are or what situation you're in. If you're falling from a 10-story building and you're falling directly, if you're fucking Pocahontas waterfall diving into the cement, you're done.
But now we're talking about the semantics of how you jumped.
You're done.
You fell.
I fell. What am I doing on top of that? I fell.
I don't know. Maybe you're posing as
Bro,
Batman.
do you understand that I've seen videos of a guy who fucking falls off of a building of that similar height and falls on his body, and it's basically his limbs have exploded like a
Yes, I
fucking
know.
hot dog that's been in a microwave for too long?
Yes, I know. You told me
Fuck
about this.
that, though.
Yeah. Can you imagine the person that fell out of the plane and lived? What did they fall into?
Again, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Side note, by the way, there was a story about a chick who fell out of a plane at like 20,000 feet,
Mm-hmm.
landed on ground. The only reason she lived is because she fell into a gigantic ant pile of red fire ants. They all started biting her, as they do.
And her body
The
totally.
adrenaline rush was like, keep the heart going. This hurts. And they felt like they saw this happening, and people like rushed to her aid.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, the only reason you're alive is because the ants bit the living shit out of you. Like the amount of adrenaline just kept your heart and your lungs going.
For those of you who can't see because it's an audio form podcast, I almost swallowed the mic in surprise.
Yeah, it was
You know?
amazing. All right, so Lou, you have some demons.
Lou,
need
you
to
have
go
demons,
watch
and
it.
I would take the fall.
Yeah, I'd take the fall
A
too.
fucking slide full of
Razor
razor blades
into
into
rubbing
a pool
alcohol.
of. First of all, where are you getting your alcohol? Because this is a constant refresh. Because that's evaporating quick.
Instantly, yeah. You have to have a pump system.
You
of
gotta
some
have a pump.
kind.
Yeah. You're
I
really
think-
working this
I think
out
what's going
here.
on here is that Lou is trying to subtly tell us that he's attempting to write a homebrew script for the next Saw movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive.
The razor blade saw the
That'd
razor
be-
blade slide.
Would be
Very effective for the
amazing.
movie.
Yep. All right. Next up from a friend of mine, my buddy Gabe. Hopefully going to be starting a new podcast with him next year if I have time. So it should be fun. Yeah, it'll be
Hey, there you go.
automotive-based podcast. It should be fun.
It's about time.
So he asked, if you had to drink your pee, would you rather drink it cold or drink it warm?
Warm,
Really?
like at the same temperature that my body is, so I don't feel it
I'd say
as much.
I'd say cold.
Oh God, no!
Yes. Can I?
You're
explain my
releasing
philosophy
weird
about this?
flavors. No, I mean, go for it.
So cold.
It's gonna
the
coat
reason
your
being-
throat.
Well, no, just cold because the amount of time that it'll take to reach that cold temperature. If you look at it, like all of the
You think it's gonna
sediment
sediment?
will have separated a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then that way, all I got to do is pinch my nose and throw that bitch back. Granted, you do the same technique
Yeah,
with
I
the
mean,
warm
yeah,
pee,
yeah, for sure.
but my mind will just be like, "This is really gross Gatorade. Just pinch your nose and do it." If it's warm, my brain the whole time is like, "Good old frothy warm piss right into your mouth. Enjoy that."
What if you had to drink someone else's pee?
Still cold. Because otherwise, it's just like for that. Listen, if it's gonna be warm, listen. Let's do it with style. Find me R. Kelly. Tell him to stay away from the eyes.
If we're gonna do it,
Just
I
like
want to
Chappelle-
do it with the king of R&B.
Yeah, just like Chappelle said, stay away from the eyes, and just
Get around my
fucking
mouth.
get in there.
Yeah, no, I think I go warm.
No, I have to go.
I think
cold,
I
man.
can't go cold. No, that's weird.
All right, and then finally, our boy Jay, the most haunted person we've ever
Jesus.
met.
Coldiga.
Yeah, here we go. Which man, way to bring it down for us here on this one, Jay. Jay asked, and we'll explain this in a second. Once the royals pass away to the great backyard beyond, are you thinking of getting a new breed? Jay, of course, is referring to my 2 Pekingese and your
And
2
my
beautiful
two, whatever
children.
the fuck they are.
I was
My
going to say
2
your
mutts.
Labradoodles, but I remember neither of them are Labradoodles.
My 2 mutts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would eventually get
A new breed?
a new dog eventually later on. But I
Okay.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it right off the bat. It's going to be I I know that like and it's already happened with one of the cats. We have a cat that's like getting ready to go now too. Igby's already 14, so it's like we're now starting to get into that mode where it's like okay, and like Porter's starting to get he has arthritis. That's why he's limping. We found out. He's 7. You know, he's a big boy, so they don't last as long. But I'm gonna need time to kind of like
you need to
process and to just like give enough time in between to where it's not going to be comparing and it's not going to be.
No, also you don't feel like you're replacing something.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I need any time for it to breathe.
Replacement, or it shouldn't be at least.
Yeah. Like it took us. I mean, we got Ellie 3 years after Google died, so it was like, you know, there was a lot of time in there where it was just, you know.
No, but also you had time after Google died to like get the ashes, deal with it, be like, oh my god, the house is a lot quieter now. Igby doesn't have anybody to play with.
Yeah.
You know, like that spot on the couch is empty now.
It's less hairy for sure.
It was, but you know, like it becomes like the void that they leave behind becomes normal after a while, and then eventually, when it becomes normal, I think that's around the point where, which that time frame is different for everybody. When that void becomes normal to you, I think it becomes more apparent than when they first pass away, because you're like, yeah, of course it's void. They just died, but when it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years down the line, where you're like, there hasn't been an animal in that spot in too long. I need to remedy that problem now.
Yeah. And it's like when you go for it. When you take care of like pet culture in America is like so different than pet culture in a lot of other places where
it's because how we see animals.
We treat them as children.
Well, we anthropomorphize. Yeah. Well, not everybody, but most people who are like really big dog people,
which I don't,
who are really big into cats, they anthropomorphize the shit out of their animals.
And it's also because of like Disney culture and like just the way we do it here, and the fact that we don't need them. Like a lot of places, like in the DR, you have a dog because you need protection at night to make sure people don't break into your fucking house. Like they're working animals, right? Like there is a reason for them to be there. Here, it's like I want a companion.
It's a luxury.
Exactly. Like so you don't work them at all. I mean, you still should train your dog and have them perform tasks and stuff like that. I mean, because this, you know, but I think it's harder because you develop this kind of emotional attachment of like a guardian to. Like what a parent is to a child. I mean, I don't want to compare because I know people get real pissy about it, but that's basically what it is, because they're not really like doing any kind of work or anything like that, where you're just taking care of them, and like they can't fend for themselves necessarily because they have to live within the society that you live in.
But I think our dogs take care of us too. Like even dogs that aren't working dogs, like Molly can't do anything. Molly's not a working dog. Neither is Deuce. But
weren't pigs made to hunt rats?
No, Pecks were they were palace dogs. They were literally just they have been companion dogs their entire existence of their breed has been as companion dogs.
Hey, even Yorkies were bred to like hunt rats.
Right. No. Pekingese didn't do shit. They're royalty. They're literally royalty. They're palace dogs. But like my dogs take care of me. Like they provide a level of like psychological and emotional healing and comfort for me that nothing else does, because like I don't want kids, but that's about as close as I think I can get to being around something that has complete and total unconditional love for me, that like you are just genuinely happy to see me when I get home at the end of the day, because you're like, oh my god, you've been gone for so long, I wasn't able to smell you anymore. And that got me anxious. And then you show up suddenly, and I'm like, oh, you're home. Everything's right with the world.
Well, you're there. There's like a dumb like meme about it. Or it's like I say dumb because it's cutesy, but it's a cute meme. Where it's like they might be. It's like a picture of a puppy. It's like a Labrador puppy or whatever. And it's like they might be a part of your world, but you're their entire world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what it is. It's just like a dog literally doesn't have any other care but you. Like it's just like, you're my guy. Like you're that's it. You're my life. You're my world. Like everything I do is revolved around you.
Well, like I remember the turning point for Deuce and I in our relationship was, I think like 7 or 8 months into us owning him. He got really sick and I had to take him to the vet. I took the day off of work and everything. And I was really scared that Deuce was going to die. Like he had like crazy, like bloody diarrhea, like to the point where it wasn't even diarrhea. It was just like, he was literally just pooping a stream of blood out of him. And I took him to Banfield Pet Hospital right there at Petco. And in the waiting room, they're like, yeah, just go ahead and sit over there. And Deuce got up and was like, I got to poop. Nope. It just like literally like a super soaker of blood came out of his
Was it the
butt.
worst smell ever?
It was just it was basically pure blood and like I guess some fecal matter that was in his digestive tract, but it was mainly blood, and it was just the most irony, like smelly thing ever.
Because Porter did it, but it's a mixture of shit and blood.
Oh, it's terrible.
And it was one of
too.
the worst smells
It's instant gag. Like,
I've ever.
Yeah.
Bro, we had to switch rooms at the vet because he did it on the floor in the vet room, like in one of the patient rooms.
Nothing cleans that up.
Bro, he was like, "Yeah, you could just go to one of the vet techs was like, you just go to the next room. This is gonna stay in here for a while." Yeah,
we're gonna hose this down.
Yeah,
but yeah, he did that, and as soon as the vet tech saw it, she was like, "Oh my god, okay, no, let's get you a room now." I was like, "That's what I was trying to tell y'all before. He needs a room now."
Why can't you understand me?
So they gave us a room, and thankfully the other vet tech girl that was there was like, "Oh my god, he's shivering. Give me a second." And she went. She grabbed a blanket for him. She put it in the dryer that they had there, and she gave him a warm blanket. And there was this moment where he had like the blanket on him, and he was like shivering, and he kind of looked at me, and I don't know what it was, but I just started crying. And like it's the only time he's ever done it. He put his paw in my hand. Like I had my hand just like on the table, and I felt his paw. Like he picked it up and he put it in my hand, and I was like, "He's my son. That's it. Like nothing is happening to him. I will will this into existence." And he was fine. We ended up putting him he was on IVs for like 2 straight days that I couldn't have him at home, and they made us change his diet and everything. That's when we learned he had a sensitive stomach and all this shit. And I don't know if on some weird, strange like dog level, he understood that like I was there to protect him. But our relationship changed drastically. Like literally the week after that, I noticed that Deuce was my shadow. Everywhere I went, he went. If I get on bed, he jumps on the bed and he wants to be on there with me. Nobody else with me. He sleeps at the foot of the bed every night. He doesn't want to get off the bed. In the morning, he comes up to me to wake me up. He's my kid. Like he's my son. He's not my dog. He's my son. But he transcended that relationship with me. Where it's like, oh, that's my dog. I don't know how people can just look at their animals and go, yeah, that's just my dog. I don't even know what its name is. That's just my dog.
I mean, that's how I feel about people with their kids.
Yeah, there's people that are like that.
Because there's a lot of people that are just like, yeah, it's my kid. But like, they're not. I don't know. Like,
I'm like, dog, if you're going to go through the effort of having a kid and like raising it. Like,
the people that own dogs the way like you and I own dogs.
No, we're dog people.
No, but it's not just that. Like, those people eventually probably go on to become good parents.
I think so. We get a lot of practice.
Well, but that's the thing. But you're willing to put the time and energy into someone or something else. And I think that's the big difference is that there's a lot of people who have kids who don't have an interest in putting time or effort into anything or anyone else.
Nope.
Or just are so not put together themselves that they have no idea where to start with another human being. So like they just have no business. But the fact that like the relationship between pets is so different. Like I think that's what makes it, because like you talk to someone in another place. It's like, oh, your dog died. It's, oh yeah, I'll get another one next week so we can. But because it's like losing an employee. It's like, it's not as, I mean, maybe they feel it. They're like, oh man, that dog, that dog, oh, that was a good dog. But they're not like broken about it like people in the States are. Yeah. Like we're broken about it because it is our kid. Yeah. It's
a family member.
And because dogs are the way they are, you are taking care of them. It's basically like having a perpetual 4-year-old forever. For fucking 16 years, 15 years. Exactly. Yeah. Where it's like, yeah, you always need to feed them. You always need to make sure they're okay. You always need to fucking take them on walks. You always need to take them to the vet. Like, you're the one that's always on top of them, right? Where it's like, in other aspects, if you have a kid, it's like they grow up and they eventually become self-sufficient and they have their own thoughts and they fucking want to become their own people.
And like I would hate for dogs to become like my dogs to become self-sufficient, because like I derive joy from that maintenance
necessity.
Like I get annoyed sometimes if I have to walk the dogs.
Dependency.
Yeah, like I'm like, I don't want to walk the dog. Like I'd rather sit down and keep playing video games, or I want to go to sleep. But I'm like, I kind of put myself in their shoes for a second, and I'm like, well, dude, I don't have thumbs. I can't open the door and go take a piss myself. I can't go. I don't have a toilet. Like,
also, if I piss and shit in your floor, it's your fault.
Right, and that's why like that's another thing is like if I get to the point where I don't feel like taking them out, or I can't because it's raining, I make it a mental note like, yo, if they're gonna pee and shit in the house, you can't get mad at them.
Oh no, you for sure can't get mad.
On the other hand, you do the opposite completely. If you see them, you go up to them and be like, wait, Poppy, it's okay, don't worry about it. Are you okay? Like, come here, let's get some water. Come jump on the couch, relax or whatever. I'll put on some TV for you. Let me clean this up. And that's it, because you don't want to also stigmatize like, yo, I couldn't help myself, dude. You never took me out.
Well, no, what happens is if you reprimand, what they do is they start to try to, like, if they have an accident, they try to eat it. To hide it.
Cover up the evidence.
Yeah, legit.
Sneaky bastards. Legit. I love them. But no, to answer Jay's question, yeah. I don't think I would get a new breed.
I have no breed preference to begin with.
I've
so
had
I don't
so
care.
many of them already. Like growing up, we always had dogs.
I'd rather mutt.
I've
to
had
be honest.
everything from German short-haired pointers to Weimaraners to fucking golden retrievers, beagles. I've had basset hounds. I've had standard beagles. I've had Lhasa Apsos, Yorkies. I mean, you name it, I've probably had it for some period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Pekingese, for me at least, like the type of person I'm at, there's no better breed for me.
I mean, yeah.
Can't.
If
Also,
that's what
like,
you like.
I would love a golden retriever again because my old golden retriever was amazing and I loved her.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it now as a homeowner from the practical perspective. Like, it's going to cost at least $100 to get them groomed every time I have to get them groomed, which is going to be often because it's summer and I don't want my dog to have the longest hair ever and be suffocated every time we go walking.
Mm-hmm.
The house is going to be filled with hair no matter how much I brush them. I have to brush them all the time, so yay, more maintenance. And then the walks, you know how long that walk is going to be? Just to get them to help stretch out their legs and get them the exercise that they need. For me, it's terrible because I hate walking dogs. But I got to do it.
But it gets you moving.
Hmm?
Gets you schmoving.
It does. Like, I just don't like it because I'm just lazy. But I get that it's also like, and this is something that I've, like, over the past couple of years with Deuce and Molly that I've started to become more aware of, that, like, don't look at it as a chore. Look at it as a bonding experience. This is time that you get to spend with them in the outdoors.
Yes, perspective.
You know, give them time to go outside and sit in the grass and just smell air as it comes at them. Let them bark at ducks and geese. Let them bark at other dogs. If they want to go pee on that tree that they've never peed on before, let them go pee. You don't know what email they just read over there at that tree. There might be some cool shit they know now. But just do it. And, like, just the experience that I've had with them has been so positive, I would never get another breed.
Yeah, I'm not a big breed guy anyway. I don't look for specific breeding.
No, like Deuce isn't a purebred peck. He's probably more Tibetan Spaniel than anything. And Molly's not even a purebred peck either. She's part Japanese chin.
But I don't like breeds in general. I don't like breeds at all.
No, I like mutts a lot.
No, I like mutts because this is what dogs supposed to be.
Yeah, they are.
It's closer to a far better genetic variant.
It is, and they get sick less often.
For sure.
They don't
Yeah, because
suffer
they're
from
not
the same
breeding
ailments.
in all of the fucking shitty recessive genes that you get too.
Like, I would like a peck mix.
But I always like when it came to a dog, like when it comes to any animal, especially when it's like a companion animal, right? So like,
this cacophony,
oh
by the
yeah,
way,
it's going
stupidity
fucking nuts.
downstairs?
But like, because it's like, I've never chosen an animal like I want a golden retriever or I want a Great Dane or I want a pit bull or I want, like, I've never gone through it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you choose an animal, like you choose it for a reason. So if your reason is I need a pack animal, okay, well, I'm going to look for specific features that I want for a pack animal.
Mm-hmm.
For me, because I'm looking for a companion, like I want connection and I want like a good, so that's what I look for. So
Exactly.
like if that comes to me from a Black Lab American Bulldog mix like Porter, or it comes to me from a super random friend found Border Collie, German Shepherd, fucking Terrier, whatever mix that Luna is.
Luna's not from this planet, you know that. Right?
Luna's, yeah, I don't know. What the fuck
Luna's
it is.
from the stars.
Or if it comes in the form of a cat, like Ellie, where it's, you know, a Russian blue, like a purebred Russian blue,
Right.
that just happens to be on the fucking street.
Who's
and
gorgeous,
it's picked
by
up.
the way.
Who's gorgeous. And the best cat I've ever owned.
I can't stand cats, but she's beautiful.
But it's one of those things where like we got offered 3 cats before that.
Mm-hmm.
Kittens.
Yeah. And you're like, no,
Like it's not like this was different. And we just were like, no, thank you so
it's
much.
not the right
no.
time. I don't want
But
it.
dude, Christy saw a picture of this on Instagram, sent me a picture of her, and I was like, that's my cat. I'm like, you bring that cat home right now. Because I saw her and I was like, you're mine.
Well, like with
Just knew.
Deuce, we had when Molly turned, I think it was like 9 or something. Millie started to get it in her head that Molly, who had been alone for her whole life, needed another dog in the house. She needed a companion because she was getting older. And I was like, I don't know if we can afford another dog right now. We were living in the apartment at the time. You know, I was only making like nothing. I was making like $13 an hour or something like that. And I was like, I don't know if we can afford another dog right now. Yada yada yada. And she was like, well, you know, let's look just to get an idea what's out there. We went on petfinder.com and we started looking and we just looked at random dogs. And then she's like, let's get another peck because I want something that's got like the same temperament, Mahomeno, that Molly has. And like maybe the same, like 2 dogs of the same breed will understand each other. And I was like, I think dogs in general understand each other.
Yeah.
But I get where she's coming from.
I mean, my
get,
dog and my cat understand each other. So.
Right. But I can get the science of where she's coming from.
I get it.
You know, in a very broad
You also also want a similar dog that works similarly in like when it comes to physicality and stuff like that. Because now it's like now I don't have to worry. Okay, you can jump over this, but you can't jump over this.
Right.
So you started having to. Yeah, I get it.
So we started looking, and I think it was like maybe a month or so of like looking every day and like sending each other. What do you think about this dog? What do you think about that one? Oh my god, this one's nice. We finally found one. His name is Max. He was a white one-eyed peck mix up in Tampa, and he had the saddest story. And I wanted to go get him. He looked so sweet. In all his pictures, he was smiling, or what like dogs look like they're smiling. Yeah. And I was like, "Baby, let's go get him." And she's like, "But baby, he's in Tampa." And I was like, "I don't give a fuck. Let's go get him."
Yeah.
And when we finally were like, "Okay, let's call the shelter and see if he's available," she was calling them, and I was looking at flights to Tampa. We called, and they're like, "Honey, he got adopted yesterday. A family of 6 came and picked him up." And I was like, oh, "Okay, thank God." Like that sucks. I wanted him, but I'm happy that like a big loving family came and we're like, you're our new best friend.
And they get to eat,
Exactly.
And now they get to eat.
Right. They get to like live and have, their own bed, their own toys or whatever. Hopefully that family has other dogs and they get to have companionship.
Yeah. They get to enjoy the nice meal that we call the good life.
Exactly. And then the next day, Millie's like, "I found one. He's in Fort Myers." And I was like, "He?" And she's like, "Yes. His name is Deuce." And I was like, "Deuce."
Oh, you didn't change his name?
No.
Interesting.
No. Deuce was 3 years old when we adopted him. He was in Fort Myers. He was at Gulf Coast Humane Society. Shout out to them. And she sends me the picture of, and I still have it. It was only 2 pictures. It was an up-close picture of his face and another one of him in a passenger seat of a car. And he was just the littlest, most scared, skinny-looking thing you've ever seen. Nothing like the giant, angry croqueta that I live with now. And I my heart broke for him, and I was like, she sent this to me on a Friday in the morning, and I was like, okay, got it. I told my boss, I was working at the police department at the time. I think. No, I wasn't. I was working still at the lean search company, and I told my boss, like, "Hey, this is what's going on. I'm going to go adopt a dog. Can I have Monday off? Because I want Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to be able to like do the whole
acclimate him."
Right. And he was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it." We drove up, and it was a Saturday. We went and we picked him up on our anniversary, February 19th. We got him. Like we went there, we showed up, and they brought him out into the little like area, like it's like the play area that's like it's all grass and stuff like that. And I saw him, and I went up to him, and like I didn't even look at him. I just like let him smell me, and he was very timid. And he just came up to me and like sat next to me. We were both staring in the same direction, and then we let Molly go in, and they sniffed each other, and Molly was just kind of like meh. She was very indifferent to him. She didn't give a shit. Years later, still doesn't give a shit about the guy.
To be totally honest, it's probably one of the reactions you kind of want.
Right.
Yeah, like as long as it's not like immediate aggression.
That's him being super excited. He's like, "They're telling my story." And so after that, we picked him up and we took him home. And there you go. That's the bet. See? 10-10. I told you she'd walk in.
Came in here. Yeah. God damn. That's how you go to work, bitch? In a fucking bathrobe?
In a bathrobe. Que clase de puta.
Yo.
In the middle of the episode.
She's like, "You want a new house?" Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
All right, so I'm going to leave you your son here, because if he barks one more time.
Hey, it's my poopy. I got to pee so fucking bad.
Well, we're almost done.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Get out of here, putica. Huh?
There, you could pee there.
Oh,
Take the bag with you.
I didn't know if you'd set up the trash can for me.
Just for you.
Just
Oh,
for pee.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zip.
go on.
Just for you.
Zip.
If you hear a weird plasticky water noise, I'm emptying my water bottle.
Slowly. So we ended up taking him home with us. We brought like an extra dog bed for him, and we put it in the back seat, and he just stayed there, like tranquil, chill, just hanging out. We brought him home. When we got him, he was 11 pounds. You could see his spine, you could see his ribs.
Yeah.
He weighs 25 pounds now,
Nice.
and he's not fat.
No,
He's
he's a good shape.
He's trim.
He's a good
we got him. He'd never seen toys before. I still have the picture of him with his first set of toys ever.
He was
We
like,
didn't just
"What
buy
the
him one.
fuck
We
is
bought him, like,
this?" Yeah,
5
yeah,
toys.
obviously.
And he's literally smiling in the photo. Like when I show you the picture, he's smiling.
And this one he could still see somewhat.
Like his vision has declined with age.
His right eye's super fucked.
Yeah. But they told us at the shelter that he had been abused by the previous owner.
Yeah.
That he had taken a lot of blows to the head. And a lot of body blows, but that they had done x-rays. He didn't have any broken ribs or anything like that. That he was just, he has hard of vision. And he's chronic dry eye, so we have to clean his eyes all the time. He gets like little crusts and
he
stuff like that.
he always produces mucus, I'm assuming, to try
right,
to,
always. there's a surgery that they can do for him, but it doesn't really have a high enough success rate to warrant the amount of money that it costs and all of the inherent dangers in the anesthesia process and all that stuff. If it had like a 90-something% success rate, I'd be like, okay, let's do it.
How expensive is that surgery?
Like $6,000.
No.
Yeah.
I
and
love.
it's only got like a 40-something% success
I
rate.
love my animals with all my heart, and if they're young enough, I get it. But if it's like, hey, the surgery is gonna be $5,000, I'm like, I want $5,000 for a surgery. Like, I love you so much, and I'll do everything I can outside of that.
For, yeah.
But it's like, I don't have $5,000. I don't have $5,000 for me for a fucking surgery.
Yeah.
I don't have $5,000 for you for a surgery.
Yeah, nobody's got $5,000 for anything. But that's what pet insurance covers now. You know?
Yeah, but pet insurance is also
It's expensive,
a
but
thing.
I mean, it's worth it. You know,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So we ended up bringing him home, and it's been a rough ride. It was rough at first. Like there was like a brief moment. There was like a week there where he was just having a bad time. He was being a bad pup, and we almost were like, should we take him back? And I was like, no, you know what? No, let's ride this out. He's gonna acclimate.
Yeah.
And we both agreed that he was gonna get better. And sure enough, like over time, with changing his behaviors and changing our behaviors and everything, he improved a ton.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they all do. They all do. When you show them enough love and attention, and you put the time in to fucking show them what their place is, and like, hey, this is how this goes. Like, they follow routine. Like, they want to have a routine. They
really do.
They want to have structure. Like, everything wants to have structure.
And it makes them feel better as
yeah,
dogs.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Porter took a long time too. So, I mean, as long as you show him enough love. But to answer Jay's question in a very super long roundabout way, as we did, I would, eventually get a new animal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he had asked specifically, would we get a new breed?
A different breed?
See, he asked, are you thinking of getting a new breed?
Maybe this question was specifically for you.
It might have been.
I think it probably was.
But we'll say it's for both of us.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I don't have a breed, so.
Would you try to get something
yes.
similar? Like, would you want to go for something like a big lab style dog again?
Nope. It doesn't have to be. We have always wanted a corgi. It could be a corgi. It could be a Shiba. It could be a fucking Akita. It could be whatever dog I feel like I connect with and I like. I'll put into that dog.
And you only adopt from shelters and rescues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I adopt. I don't I'm also not going to pay again $1,500 for a fucking dog because it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't agree with buying dogs.
I don't agree with buying dogs either. There's so many fucking dogs that are beautiful and well adjusted, or there are so many dogs. You're gonna find what you're looking for somewhere. And you're doing a better thing than fucking buying one.
Yeah.
And puppy mills are the fucking worst. And those dogs, like those mama dogs, get fucking used and abused. Those puppies get taken away way too soon. Mm-hmm. None of them are socialized correctly. So now you have a dog that doesn't understand social norms even within a litter, let alone in a fucking household. Yeah. And then people are like, oh, these dogs are so bad. And then they get them and they give them away, or they give them to a fucking shelter because they don't know how to handle them. Because they're already difficult to deal with because they've been taken too early. And then if you're not giving them the right training, you're not giving them the right guidance, like, yeah, they're going to and if it's a big energetic dog, like, I hate when people get Labradoodles or fucking Labradors or any of those big energetic breeds.
Like, I have them in an apartment. Like,
no, or you can have them in an apartment, but go take them on an hour walk when you get home.
Yeah.
Or take them to the park every fucking week.
Just let them loose.
Or go do what you need to do in order to have a dog like that in a place like that. Yeah. But these people have these fucking dogs and they don't know how to
That's
fucking
why I know
raise them.
myself. That's why I wouldn't get a big dog.
I
don't have the level of responsibility and energy to have a really big dog.
I love that big dog life.
Don't get me wrong. If Millie and I were to buy another house and I had a big enough backyard, like half acre, yeah, I'm getting big dogs.
For sure, I feel you. I totally feel you.
So
those are all the questions.
Those are all the questions that we got.
Nice. I hope we answered all of them well enough for you and you like them.
Yes. James's bladder is literally about to explode through his pants.
Yeah, he can see it. Can you see it? Bulging?
It's pulsating.
It's not my dick. It is my bladder.
Surprisingly, it is penis shaped. Weird.
I know.
So yeah, that's gonna be a wrap for the rest of the year of 2019.
I think so. We'll see you.
It's been a fucking wild ride this year.
It's been a year. And next episode, we're gonna talk definitely about what a wild ride it's been.
Yeah.
But for now,
guys, 2019 has been wonderful. It was only possible and only better because you all participated and you guys listened to us. You gave us feedback. You told us what you liked, what you didn't like. You gave us encouragement.
That is what feedback is.
Yep. I think 2020 we're gonna have to get ourselves a new co-host. Maybe. Just thinking. No.
Like you gave us feedback. You told us what was good, what was bad. I'm like, yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. They heard you the first time.
That's what feedback is.
I'm here trying to be nice. But no, you have to ruin it.
Thank
like,
you.
ruin everything.
Thank you very much for your patronage and your listenership, and we love you guys. And it's been a great year, and we're gonna see you next year.
It's gonna be amazing.
And have a Merry Christmas, and hug your families, and we hope you get everything you want.
I hope so too. And have a wonderful new year, by the way. I hope 2020 brings you what you want.
Yeah.
So, as always, shoppers, please take your purchases to the front. You don't have to go home, but you certainly can't stay here, ladies and gentlemen.
Because that would be illegal.
That would be totally illegal. And against our
Trespassing.
policy.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
And we'd have to kill you.
Good night. Happy holidays. Thanks for coming.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.